Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian DeVeza, and Dan's out. He's going to Louisville now, so I'm joined by my good friend Trevor Tran here. Trevor, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's been a while since I've been on the stream, so I'm happy to be back and help hold down the fort while Dan's traveling.
Yeah, definitely. And so, I mean, the main goal of the night, we're prepping for Louisville. So I know that you're going to be at Louisville tonight, this weekend. How do you feel about the event?
We're just gonna go ahead and try our best here. I will be playing a different deck that I would normally because I've been on Guardy for a while. So I'm just excited to try something new and this new format, or not really new format, but these developing metagame on this format has been very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And to address Heretic here, I do see that we're set to Magic. We'll try to figure something out about that. But yeah, we're super excited for Louisville this weekend. New meta, first big event of the new format here, so we're definitely looking forward to it. Oh, okay. So I see that we can try to change this here. Category.
Yeah, so we are running our usual stream person is out sick today, so we're running on a different different skeleton crew. So bear with us while we try to figure everything out.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like we are almost ready to get started here. So, Trev, do you think you can let them know that they're ready to go, or Zequel? All right, so we got Adam here on the left, and we got Ryan on the right, and Adam's piloting the new Terapagos EX. So, the hot new toy of the format. A lot of really cool stuff. And the first thing he's going to do is play that Buddy Buddy Poppin', try to get some hoot hoots on the board. So, Trev, I know you've tried to experiment a little bit with Terapagos. Can you tell us a little bit about the deck and like what it aims to do?
Oh, so it's extremely combo heavy based. Of anyone that doesn't know, from this new Stellar Crown set, it uses the primarily uses the new Hoot Hoot, or not Hoot Hoot, the Noctowl engine. Essentially, what that allows it to do is when you evolve your Hoot Hoot into a Noctowl, as we see on the screen right now, with the nice promo from the ETB. Everyone should pick some up if you
Yeah.
guys already have some. Um, but when you evolve your Noctowl onto your Hoot Hoot, if you have while you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can search your deck for two trainers. So that's very reminiscent of the shady dealings from D format from way back when. I'm sure a lot of OG, not really OG, but 2021, 2022 Pokemon players are very familiar with searching out two trainers from your deck, any two trainers. So it could be items, supporters, stadiums, whatever you actually need. Uh, you can go grab them if you need it.
Yeah, definitely. And the big emphasis about that is that it needs to be when there's a Terra Pokemon on the board. I always emphasize this every single time we have Terrapagos on here because, a lot of people have, on live especially, have been putting down the Hoot Hoot and the Noctowl without the Terra in play, and you can't activate the effect. So on Ryan's side here, he's piloting the new Palkia Dusk Noir deck that's been kind of showing out the last few events. I know like Stefan got a top eight with it. I forget Grafton Roll got a top eight with it as well.
Oh, I think he was a ninth.
Oh yeah,
He lost an
asymmetric cut.
asymmetric
Yeah,
cut, but he still got
asymmetric
there.
cut. But yeah, it's a super cool deck, and it aims to use Palkia V Stars like easy to power up attack, and it's good V Star power in order to take the big knockouts, and it's assisted by the Dusknoir line, which has been terrorizing our format for the last couple of
Yes.
months.
It's Palkia is definitely a deck I'm considering on playing to Louisville this weekend, but it's definitely the Palkia, not the Palkia, the Dusknoir line definitely adds to the ceiling of the deck because it can go. Like usually, people bench Manaphy because a Palkia deck will usually play Radiant Greninja, to conceal cards, discard water energy, draw two. Synergizes really well with Palkia V Star's ability of um, Star Portal. Getting all that water energy back from your discard back onto your water Pokemon. Most people would definitely just bench Manaphy or whatever to protect their board from the Radiant Greninja attack. Um, so Dusknoir line though, with the Curse Bomb ability of knocking itself out, putting 130 onto a another Pokemon or your opponent's Pokemon, you can just knock out that Manaphy, and then you clear the way for your Radiant Greninja to get its Moonlight Shuriken attack off, and then completely decimate the opponent's board.
Yeah, definitely. And so going into Ryan's turn here, was able to get the Squawkabilly EX, Squawk and Seize ability out, and I really like his board here, just because he's able to get the double Palkia down, and it kind of helps with the threat of Terapagos turn 3 attack. So being able to just have that ready just in case the attack is really big here. And the main hope here for Ryan is that he can get some of his Duskulls down as, to help out his damage output. So the Iono comes in right after. And Trev, is there anything that you see on Ryan's side that you really want him to do at the end of the turn?
Definitely just establish some Duskulls down. Ooh, it looks like a pass on over from Ryan. Does not find it out to the. Oh, never mind. Um, I just saw Adam pick up a
Yeah.
card, one more card, but it looks, but definitely try to find some not hoot, Poffins or any way to get Duskulls down. I see one in his
Yeah,
hand.
there's one in the hand, so that's definitely going into play. Oh, and he's
Oh,
got two of them in
never
hand.
mind.
Yeah, so I guess another hot topic for this that this week I feel like every podcast has covered is there an optimal Duskull to play? What are your thoughts on that, Trev?
It's like the the moments where the playing one Duskull over the other is gonna like the moment that like that's so niche or like it's just never going to come up and like maybe like if you play 1,000 games, the matter of like which Duskull you play will matter probably in like one in those 1,000 because it's just like who's gonna charge up a MUEX and then perplex.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on to Adam's turn here, and he's got just what he needed. He needed the Terapagos EX on the board, and then he got the attachment for turn. So, oh, and he's got the switch also. So he's got everything he really needs. Um, the next thing that would be great for him to have is an out to the Noctowl, which is here with the Ultra Ball. And what do you think Adam's going to try to grab with this Ultra Ball?
So I think he already showed that he's probably grabbing um well he grabbed Noctowl, so he can probably grab a Pidgeot here since he has the Pidgey benched, and he can just grab a rare candy
Oh yeah,
feather. Oh yeah, rare candy feather ball. So that gives you instantly your Pidgeot, setting up your Pidgeot EX. Um, the one thing I love about Noctowl decks, because I experimented with Palkia Noctowl before deciding or trying out Palkia Dusknoir, is that whenever you play a Noctowl deck, you basically play with your deck face up. You just get to tutor out whatever you want, whenever you need it, assuming you have like a Hoot Hoot ready to evolve. But it really is crazy what kind of things you can do with while you have the Hoot Hoots ready to go.
yeah, definitely. And another Noctowl coming down onto the board here, and Adam's really starting to level up here because he's got the Area Zero now, and the Area Zero is going to be able to let him get up to 8 Pokemon on his bench. And if Ryan was able to get a Trapagos on or anything like that, he would also be able to get the eight person bench. And oh, Dan, I hope you're not driving right now, but that squawk is cooked. You are 100% correct.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Dan, on your drive over. Yeah, hopefully it's not you that is driving.
Yeah, I remember you said on Twitter you're not driving, but hopefully you're making it safe over there. And it looks like here Adam is just trying to find those final touches here before trying to take out this squawk. And he's got a really good hand going into the next turn. I mean, having Iono there, Prime Catcher, second energy, he pretty much has another way to set up his next attacker. And being able to put another Hoot Hoot down will allow him to further his board state.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate for Ryan that he had to start the squawk because let's say if he started like a single prizer or Palkia, that means Adam has to fill his bench even more just to even be able to swing into the Palkia. But since it's the squawk ability with the only it's 160 HP, you have to work considerably less to
Yeah,
get the knockout here.
definitely. And the Terrestrial Beatdown does 30 damage for each on the bench. So it seems that he really just wants to flood that bench as much as he can, just so he can hit for that big number.
One thing I am worried for about with Adam here is overextension. If you burn all your resources right now, and then Ryan plops down another Pokestop to discard your bench, you won't have enough resources to um, uh, refill your bench to start swinging back the numbers that you'd like again.
Yeah, and I really like how Adam's taking this route just because he's setting up to get this Dusknoir knockout potentially on the Radiant Greninja or on the Duskull. And in case Ryan decides to put down the Pokestop, Adam's able to still keep a lot of his most important Pokemon, like the Manaphy, you know, and the Hoot Hoot, and all of that stuff. Because you can pretty much just get rid of a lot of your liabilities, which are going to be those Noctowls, that Fan Rotom, and all that stuff. So we're seeing the Cursed Bomb come out here. And Trevor, what do you think Adam's going to target with this?
Okay. Oh, so he went ahead and targeted Duskull. Makes sense. Basically trading one dust or one of your Dusknoirs for basically Ryan's opportunity to use a Dusknoir seems fair. Um, Basically, just cut off Ryan, just being cutting off Ryan's ability to use his own Dusknoirs. One thing about the Dusknoir line, regardless of what deck uses it, it's very good when you're pushing the advantage. So basically, it doesn't matter if you let your opponent take a prize. You're basically going to capitalize on it off on it first, and that makes for a very, I guess, skill expressive in the fact that you can like basically can you capitalize off of your opponent or capitalize off of your opponent's or capitalize off getting all this advantage of knocking out your opponent's Pokemon first before they can really set up a counterattack.
Yeah, definitely. So going into Ryan's next turn here, I think his main goal is he really wants to get the Palkia V-Star going. He's got not too much going on his bench right now, and hopefully this Buddy Buddy Poffin will be able to get him another Duskull on the bench just so he can really start, hitting taller numbers. Um, and Ryan's really thinking about his next move here as the Buddy Buddy Poffin is going to be failed here. And Adam's side's looking really good. He's got a secondary attacker pretty much ready to go. Pidgeot's good, all of that. So seeing Ryan here, what are some things that you want to see, Trev, out of Ryan's next turn?
Um, well, with what Ryan's deck, so the Palkia, obviously, the bigger the bench from accounting for both sides, the higher it can swing. So the one good thing for Ryan going on right now is if he can get a gust onto the Pidgeot. Um, if he can get a gust onto the Pidgeot, um, Adam has enough Pokemon on the bench to just power up his Subspace Swell attack, and he can just take a knockout on the Pidgeot, and basically that remove that resource off of Adam. So cherry picking two trainers from a Noctowl is great and all, but you only get to do two at one time. So sounds like with get rid of the quick search Pidgeot, getting that one card or tutoring only one card, but at the course of the game. The longer the game goes, the more value you can get. You can also basically guarantee that you can get whatever you want off of Niona while also disrupting your opponent's hand. Ryan thinking really hard here on what to do.
I think the putting the Fez is probably the right thing to do as well here because I think Ryan just needs more pieces. That's like his main thing. And he's
Yes.
elected to play the Irida instead of like something like Iono. What do you think of that move here?
Um, it seems like okay, unless I couldn't see what Adam's hand was looking like. Maybe just deciding that like he needs to have more combo pieces instead of just Ionoing and hoping to draw into combo pieces. So he obviously grabs the Palkia V Star. He might grab maybe a rare candy. Um,
Yeah, the rare
for
candy would be really nice here.
yeah. I could see a rare candy or a counter catcher if he has it available. He didn't bench the Fez yet. I'm assuming he's going to, but decided on not doing it until after this Irida, which is interesting to say the least. Because usually, at least in my mind, for sequencing, you would want to Fez first and then Irida to grab what you need next. But Ryan's a much better player than I am, so I'm assuming he's seeing something that I can't.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like where he's going with this because, I mean, you need the V stars like your main attacker. Being able to set up double V star is good because it can help keep you on that like 2-2-2 prize trade,
Yes.
and it accelerates your 2-2-2 a little bit faster. because of the Dustnor line. So hopefully Ryan's able to, use that to his advantage and potentially get something out like, you know, the big attack here. So
Uh,
only 2 energy coming off of the star portal, which isn't the greatest, but it gets him the attack, and that's the most important part here.
yeah, so Ryan going down to 3 prizes here, 3-3 for both Adam and Ryan here. Moving on over to Adam's turn. So he has a Hoot Hoot ready to evolve, and he has a quick search. So he essentially is getting cherry picking 3 cards out of his deck, while also grabbing the Fez. So Adam is going to see a lot of cards here. But there's one thing I want to highlight is that Adam doesn't have any Dust Skulls on the bench, so he can't actually win this turn. He can only take at most 2. Um, so there's one, but that can't get evolved yet. So not quite yet for Adam. But yeah, but Adam can only grab 2 here. Um, which would leave him at uh, 1. Leave him at 1, uh, which would obviously be it'd be great to win the game, but leaving him at 1-2, because that means it cuts off Ryan's Duskull plays or Dustnor plays as well, and that would prevent Ryan from winning on the game on the next turn after. But
Yeah, definitely. And I think a big detail about this is since Ryan evolved both Palkia Vs into V Stars, now Adam can't take a very clean 2 prize knockout here. So I think he's going to end up going for the 1 prizer.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Going down to 2 though for Adam may be very could be very risky, because that would mean Ryan with his 2 Dust Skulls out could also mean he could Dust Snore, KO something, and then also swing with his Palkia on something else, which would mean so Ryan Adam is, I think, is believe his okay. He's banking on Ryan not having a gust this turn and this only passing. Interesting.
Yeah, I think part of this is for Adam to force Ryan onto an otter prize map. It's like something that's a little more awkward, and it's gonna make it makes Adam have to work a little bit harder for the win. But going into Ryan's next turn, he's really thinking hard about how he wants to do this.
I
He has the Froakie set up here as well. I think he definitely wants to see if he can find a way to use that in order to take 3 prizes this turn.
I think I do definitely see a route to victory. It's just a matter of if he can get everything he needs. So what I am seeing here is that's part one, grabbing a prime, so a gust to gust up a 2 prizer, and 2 a rare candy for a dust or available a combo of rare candy and dust snore to dust snore curse bomb, uh, pop a baby Pokemon, so you're a Hoot Hoot, and then gust a 2 prizer, probably that Fez because it's the lowest health, um, and that would equal game because that would be 3 prizes taken by Ryan. So it's definitely with this format of Dust Snores everywhere, it's definitely a very interesting, or not really interesting, but like very not really interesting in that both sides are able to take more than 2 prizes a turn, which is obviously very strong.
Yeah, and I think this showcases how important the Greninja EX is just because of the type advantage. So Greninja EX is a fighting Terra type stage 2 Pokemon, and I mean the fighting weakness right now is very relevant in this format just because Fezandipiti is weak to fighting, Terapagos is weak to fighting, and that attack really helps you to set up multiple uh, 2 prize, 3 prize turns. And Adam's kind of getting like into trouble here just because Ryan's now down to 1 prize, and
Yes.
Adam wasn't able to even take anything in the last turn.
Yeah, this is where it gets really scary for Adam here because he takes out the Fez, can't flip the script, get 3 more cards, and also more importantly, Ryan is only at 1 prize, so Adam cannot Briar for game. People who are tuning in or are unaware what Briar does, Briar's a supporter. Oh, he sees scoop it up,
Yep,
but
and as he's scooping it up, I mean, this is going to be a matchup that we see a lot going into our next format here. So good to see the power of the Palkia Dusk Noir deck going into that.
Mm.
And Terapagos also going to be like a super popular pick going on here. So as we move on to our next match here, we've got Paul and Shashank here. So Paul is playing Palkia V-Star also with the Dusknoir package, going against Shashank with the Regidrago. So Regidrago not as popular as, the format before. Still is a pretty cool deck though. I mean, when you have a Pokemon that can copy other dragon Pokemon in the discard, you're definitely in for a really good deck that can do a lot of really cool things. So, Trev, how do you think this match goes, and who do you think is really favored into it?
Based off of games I've played, it is looking a little rough for the Palkia. Um, it's a little rough for the Palkia if the Palkia has to go second. Most decks in this format right now are uh, are electing to go first, so it's either to um, deny a Palkia or a Dusknoir deck their first turn so they can evolve, or like Regidrago here, going first into Regidrago as Palkia is very nice. So it basically gives you some breathing room to set up your board, or while also attempting to dismantle the Regidragos here. But with Regidrago, V-Star, most decks are playing the Giratina V-Star uh, attacker. So Lost Impact hits 280, magic numbers against a Palkia V-Star or any V-Star for that matter. Um, allowing the Regidrago to just essentially attack very efficiently and uh, getting rid of any potential attackers as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Paul is in a really good spot here just because he's down to one prize. Um, and Shashank's going to need a lot of different pieces in order for him to be able to finish off this game here. I mean, that Regidragos needs to attack. I mean, the Radzard could possibly attack, but I mean, Paul only needs one more prize left. So how does Shashank get himself back into the game, or how does he close out the game?
It's extremely rough here. I would assume that Shashank could go for a risky play in that since regardless if Shashank takes a knockout on the Palkia, the Blood Moon Ursaluna on the bench can attack for free. So the only avenue I'm seeing as of right now is if Shashank can piece together a Regidrago turn while also like smacking into this Ursaluna before it can attack, since Paul's only at 3, or Shashank only has 3, so the Ursaluna has to have 2 energy to attack.
Yeah,
So it could probably set up just a swing into this, and then later start Phantom Diving and putting something maybe on the Pheasantipity or whatever, and then just swing into the Ursaluna or the Pheasantipity later to take 4, or or just a gust onto the Mew and Phantom Dive the Mew while also taking the Duskull.
definitely. And so what I'm thinking here is that Paul is trying to see if he still has a switching out. So I mean, his bench is full, but the only way he would possibly be able to see if he has that switching out is to thin out the deck as much as he can. So, you know, Earthen Vessel, get rid of some energies that are in there. First, he should see if he still has the switching out. Right now, we're seeing that there's a bunch of rare candies in there, but
Yeah, actually, a rare candy
yeah,
represents game here too, because you can
yeah,
just or any dust nor line here, because you can just use the curse bomb, put Shashank on 2, and then just
yeah,
attach,
attach return, and then that will be game.
and that would be game.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm wondering if Paul's going to be going for that kind of move. Oh, he definitely has it in hand, doesn't he?
Does I
He-
see I see a purple card? I think it's a dust nor.
Oh, is that a Dusknoir? So I think even if he does decide to go for just Dusk Clops, he should still have game in hand. As long as he's
Yes.
able to get Shashank down to 2 prizes, he should be able to win this game.
Okay,
Oh,
so he just
so that's the
uh,
Dusk
I
Clops.
see the Clops.
There's the
Does
Clops.
he see it? I know
Yeah,
he.
I think Paul's got to see the line here.
Yeah. Uh,
And this is what is so cool about this deck, just because it's hard to stall against it. Because I mean, as soon as the prizes start going down, it gives the player more outs to win the game, like so much faster.
so yeah, he has the energy. Just attaches for turn.
Yeah,
Just attach return. Evolve.
Clops. Yep, just Clops the active.
Doesn't even need to collapse the active. We can just.
What?
What are you
Paul!
doing? Wait.
Paul! Okay, so the V-Star goes down here, and now I'm wondering how Shashank uses this opportunity because, I mean, he doesn't have many cards in turn. But this seems to be like an attached pass angle here.
Paul,
Oh,
please.
Paul, please.
Please.
Come on. He should see this.
Come on.
Come on, Paul. Okay, cool.
Okay, so I mean, this. I guess this.
All right, cool. All right, so Paul won it a little bit differently than we thought, but
But that's
yeah,
okay.
he was still able to get there, which is what mattered here. So
Yeah, Paul did not get punished.
yeah, he did
by
not get
Shashank
punished
getting
by
crazy.
the mistake here. So it seems like that round one is kind of wrapping up here. So what we're gonna do is go do a quick 5-minute break so we can get the next round set up, and we will see you guys back for round 2 of Nerd Rage Gaming Locals.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, everybody, and we are back for round two of our Nerd Rage Gaming locals. So for round two, we have Christian Senior on my favorite deck, Lugia V Star, and going against him is our boy Kevin from the Nerd Rage Gaming team playing Palkia V Star. So, Trev, what do you think of this matchup here, and who do you think's favored?
Um, it's definitely very interesting. Both decks desperately want to go first so bad.
Yeah, and Kevin's going first here. So, before we started here, Kev was definitely getting quite the beatdown from the Lugia matchup, but he's going first in this matchup, so I think he's got the slight upper hand here, and wants to get his Palkia set up so he can start hitting for those big two prize knockouts right away.
Yeah, taking a quick pick from Kevin's hand is not doesn't look like it's the strongest. I don't know if I would like the Greninja down here. I would rather just guarantee getting a Palkia set up, and then maybe you can always get the Greninja later. But maybe just really desperately saving that one energy to conceal cards and hopefully draw something a little more. Uh, maybe I'd even see a Squawk. I know most Palkia V-Star decks basically if they're using Stefan Ivanov's list from the recent Dortmund regional. Stefan placed top four, and his Palkia list he included Squawkabilly. So that is always an out if you are desperate for a new hand. But I did not get to see everything in Kevin's hand.
Yeah, definitely. And Arctic, thanks for being in the stream. Thanks for coming out. So, yeah, we definitely want to put out some more great content just so we can, help everybody get prepared for the regional. Big event, it's right in the Midwest, so right by our neighborhood. So a lot of our local players are going to be coming out there. So we're definitely trying to do some good and, make a big community here on our stream. So going into Christian's turn here, he's got a lot of good pieces here, capturing aroma, and hopefully that's going to start getting some chops. But at least that looks like a tails, so might be grabbing something like the Luminion or maybe the Squawkabilly. But good to see that he's able to at least get some Pokemon down on the board. So this might be the Jock and Squawk play. You know what the Jock and Squawk play is, Trev?
I'm not a. I can definitely tell what's
Yeah.
about to happen. Uh, but But yeah, one thing about Kevin didn't get the Palkia down on his turn one, so his hands looking a little dead. Maybe he's prized a Squawk, so maybe he couldn't get an extra one. Or if he, maybe if he even if he did Squawk, I think he has like three. I think I saw three Night Stretchers in his hand, so that's
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So not the best.
Looking real rough for Kevin here. Um, but yeah, Christian, getting to get that capturing aroma, checking out whatever. Looks like it is the Luminion. That's part one of the Jock.
Yep, the Jock getting the two chops. And to address Arctic, thoughts on Charizard? Trev,
Oh,
what are your thoughts on Charizard going into the event?
it's like it's so weird. It's like basically from the past regionals or major events here. So Dortmund, Lima SPE, Joinville regional. Zard has been either really good or like kind of gets eaten alive.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with you. Zard will always feel amazing just because it's got such high damage output, you know, and the weakness isn't really that relevant right now, other than Ogerpon. But the thing with Charizard that I have the biggest problem with is the way that people are building the deck right now. So a lot of people are doing this 3 Charmander, 2 Charizard EX, like in 1 Charmeleon line, and it just doesn't feel consistent. I know you need to fit the Briar. I know you need to fit the 1/1/1 Dusknoir line in there, but it feels like some of the time you're not able to play the game because of that.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
very
Charizard is very powerful, but it doesn't have a lot of pieces to be powerful right now.
yeah, it's right now it's definitely I think that's what that is what kind of holds the deck back right now from actually like doing super well into a regional or anything. It's just the fact that you are so greedy in your deck building with a Zard list. Sometimes your deck just ceases to function.
Yeah.
So we see the Palkia come down.
Yep. The Palkia comes down, and then the Greninja is able to get something here. And, ooh, not looking too good for Kev's side here. I mean,
Oh, two Iono
yeah,
and
two
the
Ionos
Greninja Pride.
prized, Greninja's prized. Oh, man.
If there's one turn that Kevin would love to see an Iono, it'd be this one because you just saw Christian Senior Ultra Ball double chops,
Yeah, I know,
grabs the
right?
V stars.
Always has it.
So definitely looking a little rough because that means Christian, essentially with Kevin's first hand and not getting a Palkia down, Kevin is essentially going second in this matchup because Christian gets to set up his board a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's a little tough. But I think Kev's really just trying to make the most out of his hand before he researches all those important pieces away.
Oh,
Oh, he's not even going
he's
for it.
just passing.
Oh, and Christian's got the boss and he's got everything. Oh man, this is not looking too good for Kev here.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
got the attachment for turn, all of that. So I think Christian's just really in the driver's seat here, and it really just shows how good Lugia can be once he's set up. I mean, Christian went second. He was able to play supporter. He was able to get everything he needed here. Um, and yeah, Lugia is definitely looking like a good play right now. And Trev, what do you think of Lugia going into the Louisville Regional? I mean, don't ask me because I'm a little biased, but what are your unfiltered thoughts about it?
um, it's definitely great. I mean, you can see as many eyes have seen Rahul Reddy.
Yeah,
Uh, going on a crazy tear, getting asymmetrical cut in worlds. Uh, the
he
top eight.
top cutted Baltimore and
Top,
then second place at Dortmund.
yeah, he's been insane
Yeah,
to say the
definitely.
least. And then all with the same 62, not a single change in between those tournaments.
Yeah, and
And
I
he's
think
just
that's
like,
the craziest thing about it too. Like all he said was the only thing that I've changed are my sleeves. Like that's kind of hard.
that's a little crazy. It's like perfect cell from Dragon Ball is like, why change?
Yeah,
Why do I need to
definitely.
change? Um, but yeah, definitely seeing the boss go down on the Palkia here. Definitely just looking a little rough for Kevin
Yeah,
here.
it's definitely looking rough for Kev here. Like he doesn't really have much of a board to go off of here, and not much potential to attack. And to address Arctic again, yeah, Charizard definitely feels good into Lugia. I personally think that Lugia is pretty favored into it just because Chinchino helps trade pretty well into it, but Dusknoir also can trade back into Lugia really well as well. So Charizard definitely has a good matchup spread. I like the Terapagos matchup. Palkia Dusknoir can be an interesting matchup just because I feel like the Dusknoirs can kind of, well, I mean, they kind of assist you and they can kind of hurt you as well. And then the Raging Bolt matchup's always been pretty favored into Charizard. So there's definitely a lot of good matchups for the deck going in. And it's really about just being able to play the game. I think that's how a lot of decks go. And as I was listening to the Shift Gear podcast earlier, a lot of the players were there, like Neil and Kieran were kind of mentioning that even though Charizard's a traditionally go second deck, they were talking about how you might have to blind go first into a lot of these matchups, just because you don't want to lose your momentum and lose a lot of pressure going into the middle points of the game.
Yeah, definitely wanting to go first. I think I mentioned this earlier, but like going first just denies your opponent from popping off using their Dusknoirs, basically dismantling their board. Like especially Charizard, if they can go first and deny that, wonderful. You get to actually keep your Charmander, you keep your Pidgey. But if you actually lose the flip, go second into a Palkia deck or a Terapagos deck, you're basically if you don't draw crazy after their turn, you're basically saying goodbye to your Pidgey or your Charmander, and not even getting to play the game because you get all your base baby Pokemon wiped out before you could you know get to actually use them.
Yeah, definitely. And going back into our game here with Kevin and Christian, Kev's doing good by getting the two Palkia Vs going down, but he's still a little behind here, just because Christian was able to take those first two prizes. And even though he's trying to recover his board state here, when do you think it becomes too late for Kevin to come back?
It's I think if Christian is able to find a gust on a Palkia again, it might be wraps for Kevin. But feeding a single prizer does open up the avenue of maybe mounting a comeback here. So
I mean, bringing up a one prizer also opens up Iron Hands, so you do have to be careful about
that
that.
is very yes, that is true. I
Lugia plays Iron Hands now.
Yeah, and even you can even Christian could find Gust Iron Hands on a Palkia, and then he wins the game
Yeah.
there.
So, I mean, if Christian's playing Rahul's list, which I'm pretty sure he is, I do like the Raikou in this deck a lot.
In this instance,
Yeah,
yes.
just because Raikou, I mean, the original reason to play Raikou was because it was good into Pidgeot, it was good into Mirror, but now that Palkia is really good again, it's also really good into Palkia, and it definitely takes really clean knockouts into the V-Star when you don't go first, which is really nice.
Uh,
And to address Arctic again, yeah, I think for Nest Ball, like Max Ball Search in Charizard and in Dragapult, because I feel like you kind of deck build them a little bit of the same way, is definitely really good. I like Cleffa a lot, but my thing with Cleffa is that it's like Dusclops fodder. Like I feel like you're just feeding prizes that way, but that's the same thing with Rotom. Rotom definitely feeds prizes too, so it's pretty much like which one you value more. Like, do you value like the early 3 cards? Do you value the free retreat and the 7 cards? It's like kind of like a hit or
yeah,
miss.
it's just
Yeah.
like Zard picks up some bad matchups, assuming if they go second into some decks. Did I just see Christian?
Oh, is this a fish loop?
Ooh, okay. This is another way to
This is
get two
another way.
prizes.
This is
Uh,
a fish loop in 2024. Not something you see very often, but it's very cool to see that the legacy energy enables Aqua Return to come back again. Super cool way to approach Lugia now, and it really gives a lot more branching ways that you can play the deck. A lot of different lines that you do. Now you don't really just have to just like keep taking 2 prizes at a time until you win the game. There's a lot more that you can do with the deck now. And now that the Aqua turn's gone through, I wonder what Kevin's gonna do for this turn here. Draw for turn, and he grabs an Earthen Vessel here. So
okay.
what do you think Kev can do here?
Um, I would like to see, well, obviously him get a Palkia V Star
Yeah,
on the board.
that's definitely a priority. But is
Definitely,
there any other way for Kev to take a big knockout here?
he had to go Rare Candy Dusknoir place that damage onto the V Star and then swing into it,
Yeah.
which is the only way I can see him knocking out this Lugia. But the only problem is, you still have Christian Senior still has his Archeops available. So, assuming Christian can like grab either another attacker in the form of like maybe Raikou, if he's assuming he's playing the Rahul Ready list, or he has the Minchino on the bench. So if he has a Chinchino left in deck, he can take a knockout with that.
Yeah, definitely. And even though if Kevin is able to get this Dust Noir into Palkia V-Star knockout, it brings Christian down to 2 prizes, which is not the position you want to be in, just because now Christian's just like one big knockout away from winning the game. So what I do want to see here is hopefully get that big knockout, but Christian would need some more big pieces in order to win the game here. So the Ultra Ball here, let's see what
Looks
it
like I
ends up
don't think there's a
grabbing.
Dusknoir in deck.
Yeah. Where did all the Dusknoir go?
Oh, man, this it's looking a little rough.
Yeah.
Because even if he Iono's down, Christian down to a low hand size, he does have the gift energy on the Lugia, so it just refills his hand again.
Yeah, it refills the hand and it gives him an opportunity to maybe draw into the Chinchino or something like that. But I saw that the Chinchino was actually discarded on turn 1. So I don't know if Christian plays another one or if he plays a bigger line of it. But Kev's really thinking pretty hard here about what he grabs off this Ultra Ball here.
Oh, so he does
Oh,
have
so he
a
does have the Dusknoir.
okay.
So I wonder what he's going to be able to do here from there.
It's definitely interesting. I know Christian's hand, I think, is just a ton of energy.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know if Kevin is eyeing up to Iono. It probably would. Probably the best play for Kevin is to Iono here, just to
Yeah.
even see some more cards to, do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, but my only problem with Iono is, he has rare candy in hand, so he's still able to do that. Play is like you got
Yes.
to make sure that you at least put that Dusknoir into play before playing Iono. But
Let's
yeah,
see.
this Night Structure, I'm pretty sure is able to grab him a Palkia V Star as well.
Yes, I think it was one of the first discards. I think
Yeah.
he used the Ultra Ball turn one
Oh,
to
and Connor here saying Cleffa mid, but Connor, you gotta know, I've been on the same train with you. For Nest Ball, for Nest Ball.
four nest ball is definitely is needed because it's just you go first or
Yeah,
you get eaten alive by Dusknoir.
yeah, definitely. So let's see what Kev's gonna grab here. He's got the Night Stretcher for the V Star, and then he can definitely just attach and then play Iono.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, grabs the V Star, gets the attach for you can get this the attach return. You can even save his V Star if he doesn't need it. So there you go.
So
So here's
wondering what he's gonna do here. Yeah, and then definitely 4 nest ball or bust.
uh the thank you, Connor.
Yeah, thank you, Connor, for that.
Very prominent player in the
Yeah.
Chicago region. Really cool guy.
Yeah,
Really
shout out
nice.
to the TSA agents. They
Yeah.
always are showing out at the local events. So, only 2 cards left. And Dress Arctic. Yeah, definitely punch the Lugia is definitely a cool idea too, and you can Dusk Noir. It's just a tough angle to take because it requires another turn here.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
because Christian could always just go Iron Hands like Gust Palkia V and take 3 prizes that way. So
yeah, so
so
definitely.
there yeah, there's definitely some difficulties. He definitely needs an extra turn enabled to in order to do like a play like that.
And if he doesn't pop the Dusknoir, he can't get the Palkia inactive anyways.
Yeah.
So elects to go for the
For the
Minccino.
Minccino,
Interesting.
which I can kind of get down with just because, the Minccino is able to hit for the really really big number and being able to remove that off the board is really nice. And I feel like that's a reason why a lot of Lugia lists have gone down to the 1/1 line just because Dusknoir just picks it off so easily. So, ooh, looks like Kev's deciding to go into the Sobble or into the Froakie here.
Froakie.
Keep calling it Sobble.
And we're
Yeah.
in the wrong generation.
Yeah,
Wrong
wrong
generator.
generation. And the Iono here is going to get Kev a fresh 5 cards here. I got to update this. Yeah, our usual stream person, Bryce, is not here today. So we're trying to do both things at once here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kev gets the Duskull. I think he's got another Ultra Ball. Pokestop is really good here.
You know, it's just it's one of those things. So you with the Palkia deck, you play so little few. You so few draw supporters. You only play like Ionos and Iridas really.
Yeah,
So you really have to rely on the Pokestop as basically an additional card draw.
yeah. And
And
I like how Kev approaches this. He puts another V-Star down. And it's kind of like what Ryan was doing in our first round, where it's giving himself a way to not give up an easy 2 prizer.
yeah, so he does. Kevin does evolve the Palkia V into a V Star, so that will cut off the Iron Hands play.
Yeah, the Iron Hands for 3 play,
Uh,
unfortunately. But this is like one of those situations where Raiku's really good because the Raiku's able to take those 2 prizes much easier than um than the Lugia V-Star would be able to. As we see the Star Portal add, 1 energy onto each of those Pokemon here.
yeah, I think this is okay. So
Yeah.
Alexa goes do that. Okay.
How do you feel
Um,
about this play, Trev?
I don't I guess it doesn't necessarily mind the one on each, but since Greninja EX is a fighting type and Lugia and Archeops are resistant to fighting type, so it definitely I guess it does. Kevin just electing to go just for the Palkia, just the 2 on the other Palkia, just to ensure that he just sets up another swing. I guess is important. And then Greninja EX can only also just attack for 1 energy as well, so very efficient there. So just electing to just make sure he has every option available to what he wants.
Yeah, definitely. And going into Christian's next turn here, I mean, he's got a lot of energy, but
He has a fish.
yeah, he's got the fish. I don't know how he really goes about this turn here. Maybe just like try to punch into the V-Star here, try to clean up with the Archeops maybe, or if you try to use the Luminion to maybe get yourself some more cards to like use as potential, or get the Gust or something like that. But you definitely need to have some sort of play here as he just
Oh,
decides
okay.
to go for the Tempest dive here, hit for
Okay.
220 onto this active Palkia V-Star. And this definitely gives Kev a little bit more to work with, but there's no Duskulls on the board, which is really tough to think about because
Yeah.
now Kevin's not able to use this as he's not able to get, further into the game. He's pretty much just like going to try to punch into the Lugia again and give Christian more cards in hand.
Yeah, it's definitely a little rough, especially like going first, but then not getting anything. Hits the Pokestop. Those are not items,
Yeah, those are not items.
which is really seeing the Ursaluna and the Pheasantipede go down is super rough because I know Kevin has burned through a lot of his Night Stretchers already. So basically, not having access to those like those Pokemon anymore is definitely rough. And Night Stretcher is your only way of recovering from the discard pile here. So
Yeah, I definitely would like to see. I think it would be a cool to see the Ursaluna come out here because Lugia V-Star doesn't have a way to deal with it, and there's not really any other Pokemon that can really deal with the Ursaluna. So that would definitely give Kev some more time to work with.
yes. Does Christian only has two, right? Yeah.
To
Or
what? To what?
two
Two
prizes.
prizes left. Yeah, only two prizes left.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that means that Ursaluna would be able to attack with just one energy attach. Uh, and then it is a chunky 260 HP basic. So Christian would have to uh, find an out for her, like, I know the word deer. The deers in the Lugia deck.
Yeah, the deer is played in the Lugia deck now, so yeah, that could also be a way to get that clean 280 knockout as well. So there's definitely a lot of pieces for Christian to use. But Kev
So
is looking to grab the switch here, and I do like the switch, just because it makes Christian need to work for this attack a little bit more. He's going to need to play down that Luminion just to get the
yes.
last two prizes here.
Oh, one thing uh, I would like to point out too is so he takes the knock. Okay, there.
Yeah,
So if he takes a knockout onto this Lugia, and Christian has no choice but to promote the one of the Archeops, and then essentially, uh, if Christian has to find an attacker, and then you can only have basically one chops
yeah,
onto it. Only use one chops here. So gets the Nest Ball for the Mew. Another way for the Palkia deck to basically cheat out some more card draw without using a supporter is using that Mew restart ability, drawing until you have three. Definitely something.
yeah. And do you
That,
think Kev's going to thin out to 0 cards just so he can draw some more off of it?
I think he has what, Earthen Vessel and Rare Candy, right?
Yeah, so looking at the damage here, oh man,
It's,
I,
it's definitely rough because you want
yeah,
to keep the Rare Candy to evolve that Froakie into a Greninja EX. Just elects to take the swing here. Christian drawing until he
drawing
has.
4.
Oh, so I see another Minchino. So he definitely
Yeah,
plays probably a 2-2 line.
a 2-2 line, which is interesting to see.
What is happening? Okay,
Oh, I
so
think yeah.
so I think
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, so I think the Archeops kind of cleans it up and then is able to show how he could have won the game.
oh yeah, so
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
speed wing for game. You don't
All
see that
right.
often.
As we transition to our next game here, we've got Paul and Eli. They're playing the mirror match.
Yeah, we saw Paul on the stream earlier just for a little bit,
Yeah, we told him about how he could have won a little bit earlier, and he was like mind blown. He's like,
and
"That's a crazy line
I'm
that
like,
he
oh my
could have
god, I
done."
could do that.
Yeah, he could do that, but this is really interesting. Just because uh, we don't really know how people play this. The mirror match.
Yeah, so again, both decks want to go first
Yeah,
so desperately. Um, obviously we didn't get to see this game when it started, but I believe we have Paul here with 3 prizes left and Eli with 4. The one thing about this deck is, it's like whoever goes first and draws all their pieces usually ends up winning, unless and then but the other player or the other Palkia player who has forced to go second is probably forced to bench 2 Palkias so you to not get instantly cut off from your V-Star line here.
yeah, definitely. And Kat, thanks for coming by and watching. Definitely great to see you here again.
Oh yeah, sorry for the sorry for the ad. I know it's something. These are some things that are sometimes out of our control, and they just kind of happen. But glad to see that you're here.
Yeah, definitely. And going to see on Eli's side here, he's going for the Dusknoir play to knock out the Dusclops. So Eli coming down to 3, and then Paul going down to 2 prizes. This is so interesting because it's like there's so many different ways here for each one to win the
Yeah.
game. It's like which one uses Dusknoir
Oh,
first.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, that works too.
yeah. Oh, you're here with us tonight. Oh, very cool, very cool. Oh, and Etchy in the chat too with the Kev
Uh,
Cam.
Cap. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
shout outs for your new sponsor, Endgame
Yeah, Endgame
Sleeves.
sleeves. I actually ordered me some. So I'm excited for them to come in. So
I was trying to, but then I said, well, some people got their shipping from Canada for only seven like US
yeah,
dollars.
yeah,
For whatever reason, mine like was $15.
yeah, something like that. But super cool to see creators entering the TCG space and like creating their own products. So definitely putting the players first and making a product for us to really enjoy. So we see Eli clean up the game here, and
No, I think it was I think
oh, did he?
Paul took it because Eli went down to one prize, and
Yeah.
then Paul had prime catcher and
Oh,
Ursaluna, so he could just swing for free onto
yeah.
the
I was too
Mew.
busy looking at chat.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw Paul able to. Eli needed definitely desperately needed to find an Iono here, or probably had to find an Iono to like cut off Paul from any potential comeback like that. So, but yeah, that's Paul cleaning it up in the mirror.
Yeah, in the mirror. Mirror is super weird. I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot of that in Louisville. But yeah, there's a lot of Palkia Dusknoir here. A lot of our players really like it. Decent amount of Terapagos. So yeah, as we look to see, I think we have one game left here. We're going to take another quick 5-minute break just so we can get the next round started. And we will see you guys in just a minute. All right, everybody, and we are back for round three of our Nerd Rage Gaming Pokemon Locals. And we have an interesting one here in the start. We have Ryan playing Palkia V-Star, have him on the stream again. And then Jeremy's playing this really interesting Dark Box. When he first showed me his deck, he was like showing me like there was like a Petron in there. I thought it was like maybe the Loyal 3 or something like that. But then I saw Darkrai, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." So we got some spicy stuff. It's got like the Janine's technique and all that stuff. So it'll be an interesting matchup. So, Trev, what do you think of this matchup, and who do you think is probably favored into this?
I'm assuming with what Jeremy is playing.
Oh, can
So
you put the mic closer to you and speak up a little
oh
bit?
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm assuming with what Jeremy wants to do. I think I only saw a brief flash, but I'm assuming Jeremy has a way to get a turn one knockout with all the energy acceleration that is available to Dark type Pokemon. You got Dark Patch. You have the Janine's secret art, I believe. I think attaches one dark energy to two
Yeah,
things.
something like that.
And if it's like, I think if it's in the active, or if what you attach to is in the active, it gets poisoned. So that's a clear synergy with the Mochi to even buff your damage even further. Um, so yeah, it's definitely something we're not used to seeing. So it's definitely hard to say anything about. We only
Yeah.
have infer like on just like general things that we like that dark type Pokemon like to do. And like you said, the Darkrai V is very nice because who turns out reusing your Prime Catcher or any item that you'd like is really nice when you can just with Darkrai V Star ability of getting back two items from your discard pile is really cool, especially when
Yeah.
you only have one Prime Catcher, but you can use it twice.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing I like from Ryan's side is that he's got the Froakie down early, and this is going to set up the Greninja EX, which is going to be super effective damage-wise onto something like the Pheasantipity, and can also take pretty easy knockouts elsewhere on the board. So I really like how that's being set up right away, and that 170 search a card attack Shinobi Blade will be really nice when you're able to use it in tandem with the Dusknoir line as well. So a lot of cool things for Ryan to be able to do here. And I'm interesting to see how Jeremy's going to start up his board here. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely for us back here at the stream, and we're gonna be learning it as we go.
Yeah, definitely learning as we go.
But yeah, but definitely, well, for Ryan here, getting everything he essentially wants. That does it is unfortunate that Oh wait, never mind then.
Yeah.
Because I just said like Ryan doesn't want to really starting a two prizer, assuming that Jeremy can find the turn one attack here. But finding the switch, giving up that Duskull here, just take a one prizer.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing when I was looking through his deck was I was going to see if there was a Roaring Moon in there. I didn't see one, but I think he's just mainly using like the Petrant and Darkrai V-Star as his main attackers. And I do like the Squawk going down early. This is really nice just because able to, get some of those dark energies like in the discard and everything like that. So the Pokestops can be played here. Ooh,
Okay, find nest ball, find read.
yeah.
Okay,
Nest Ball's fine here. Just play that. You could probably get the Darkrai V down
yeah.
and really get your board going from here. And I don't know. It's like an interesting deck here. So I really wonder how Jeremy's going to be able to take advantage of his pieces. And oh,
What?
what is that? Is
Uh,
that a single prize Absol?
I believe it is.
I don't even know what that card does. I think I might have to look it up real
I
quick
think it's
here.
like one colorless energy, and if your opponent has like, I think an EX or a V or something, it does X amount of damage. I don't know.
Here, I'm looking it up right now, but I do like seeing the Bravery Charm go down on the Pheasantipity.
Okay, so we see Ultra Ball and energy, and we see the Petron too. So he can definitely uh, switch this Absol into the active to get a knockout here.
Okay, so I found the Absol. The Absol is from Shrouded Fable,
Okay,
110 HP, and this attack is called Darkfall. For a single dark energy, if you have 3 dark energy in play, this attack does 50 more damage. So,
okay,
it does okay damage, and it's pretty easy to set up, as long as you're able to, Janine 2 energy into play, and you have your attachment for turn, you do 70 damage. That could either take out, like, like something like a Comfy, like a Charmander, something that has really low health or anything like that, as well as it can clean up stuff that have been hit once or twice already.
Yes.
Yeah, so like maybe like a Roaring Moon or something like that that's taken a lot of damage already. So super interesting that he's going into this already. And there are three energy in play already, so that Duskull is getting knocked out.
Duskull's going away.
Yeah, so really interesting to see this how this deck is working so far. And going into Ryan's next turn, I don't really know what he wants to do now.
I'm assuming with Jeremy only getting one that turn, Ryan, I think definitely wants to start going just your typical 2-2-2 line because you have your Fez, the Pecharunt, and the Okidogi. We're only missing the Monkey Dory now. We're missing the whole gang.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I thought he was originally playing was the Loyal 3, but I didn't see anything else besides the Pecharunt on there.
Yeah. One thing too is Jeremy not getting the Darkrai V down, uh, so he doesn't have access to his items in the discard pile just yet. What?
And Ryan's got the energy in hand. I think he's looking at what he wants to attach that to. And I do like the Sobble here, which is fine. Ooh, but the Iono.
I did see.
Yeah, the Greninja EX was in hand. He really wanted to see that.
So if he gets like Ultra Ball and Candy and then everything, then like yeah, you can still do it.
Yeah, definitely.
uh,
But oh, this heavy ball I think can grab something like the Greninja that I think might be prized. No,
is
there's
that's
no
just
Greninja.
another Palkia is available to him. One thing I like to point out, I would like to point out for Jeremy here is he attached that charm to the Pheasantipity here, so that actually cuts off Ryan's play of using Mirage Barrage onto the
Yeah.
Pheasantipity and also knocking like probably that Squawk out or something else. So that cuts off Ryan's ability to get 4 prizes because that mean even with the weakness, Pheasantipity would have 20 HP left. So definitely, I don't know if he just wanted to attach it somewhere because he was going to squawk and see something away, or he was intentionally playing for it. But I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Pheasantipity is such an important part of this deck that being able to draw 3 after a knockout is like really huge here. And I mean, Ryan's able to do that right now just because he lost his Duskull the previous turn. So it really does show how powerful of a card it is, and it really changed and warped our meta a lot, along with the Dusknoir line.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's gonna be. I'm probably going to be playing some form of Palkia Dusknoir, and it's just gonna be like really interesting because I'm gonna have to be thinking like, oh, I want to use Curse Blast on something, but what do I put it on, and like what do I prioritize here? If it's another Dusknoir deck, do I just like want to cut off that, or I want to cut off something else? It's very new to me, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And do we know if Ryan used the Pokestop yet?
I believe he hasn't. I think he's only flipped the script
Okay.
and yeah. So grabbing the Greninja off the nest ball here, concealing some cards, hopefully trying to
Ooh,
find some more.
got the shoes.
Yeah, I got the shoes, the Jordans.
Yep.
Always a good time to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think he's spun the wheel yet. So if he gets a rare candy off of this, he can go into the Greninja EX here.
Yeah, and I do like how he searched it out before, even though he's randomizing the deck again. Just being able to thin it out of the deck is also like a really good play for him as well.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to just accidentally mill it off the Pokestop here. Uh, Mill it off the Pokestop and then just now you have to go find a Night Stretcher to grab it back.
Yeah.
So electing to just grab it now.
Ooh, and he hasn't gotten it yet.
So, ooh, okay,
This is tough.
it's a little tough.
Yeah, so I
Um,
think Ryan might have to eventually just V-Star into that Palkia and probably just swing into that Absol. That might just be the play here.
Maybe he has. Oh, I think he Squawk and sees the Prime Catcher.
Oh, he did?
So it's like he can't even get that down either. Um,
Ooh, okay. But getting the Dusclops is a pretty cool play as well. I wonder how
okay.
he's going to end up using this.
Yeah, so I don't think unless he has a counter catcher in hand, Ryan doesn't have a wait for get 2 prizes now. So
Yeah.
definitely looking interesting to say the
Yeah,
least.
definitely. So I'm wondering now. So I think this is going to be a Star Portal play, and just seeing where Ryan's going to be putting these energy is going to be really interesting to see.
It's definitely I think obviously one onto the Palkia so it can actually attack.
Yeah, that's
But
definitely important.
so I think Ryan only has two right now before the
Yeah.
retreat, so now that's three.
Ooh, and are we gonna see a Greninja here?
Maybe
Ooh.
he's just electing to just pass on this because right now the Absol can't knock out that Greninja. And the only way he can knock it out is if he promotes a two prizer that does a little bit more damage.
Oh wow, and we
Oh,
see the Star Portal come out and put
okay.
all
So
three
we
energy onto that Greninja EX, and it's going to be targeting. Let's see here. Ooh, the Squawk. Okay, I like this.
yeah, that sets it up for a Dusknoir play later.
Yeah, and the Absol is going to get knocked out. So Ryan's able to tie it up here at 5 prizes apiece here. And it's
Oh,
cool because he's able to set up a Dusknoir play or a Dusclops play
uh,
for the Squawk.
one thing to also note or pay attention to, I think Absol had 110, so he had 100 into that, and then
Yeah,
90 from the Greninja, and then during Pokemon Checkup, Poison knocks out the Absol.
yeah.
So Pheasantipity is not active right now. So
Oh, yeah. So no Pheasantipity is active right now. That's also an interesting thing to
yeah,
look at here. But Dark Patching twice to go onto the Petron here, which is really interesting. Oh, and there is a Roaring Moon in this deck. So,
no, yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Okie
Oh, that's
EX, sir.
is that actually Okidogi EX?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Okidogi EX. So I guess there are like the loyal three in this.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're just missing the Monkey Dory right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so going. Going to
So
research here. Very aggressive in digging through his deck. I wonder what he's looking for. Probably a Darkrai V. Does he find a way? He has an Ultra Ball.
here's the Nest Ball that can possibly grab that.
Oh, a Nest Ball. I didn't see that
Yeah.
part either. But yeah, it's very from what I can infer about Jeremy's deck, it's super aggro. Just turboing through your deck and then using your Darkrai V Star just to grab everything later or
Yeah.
grab things again, which seems kind of great.
Yeah, definitely. And even though this two prizer is going to go down, I think Ryan likes to see this just because he'll be able to take two prizes off of the Squawk with a Dusclops or a Dusk Noir play, and then the Palkia V-Star is going to be easily hitting into these big basics and taking two prizes off of those easy.
Brian, can you do me a favor and look up Okidogi's weakness? I wonder
Yeah.
if it's also fighting as well.
Yeah, let me take a look here. And let's see, what is Jeremy hoping to do right now in the
I think he's set up to just swing on with this Okidogi EX, get him poisoned. I believe he gets a little bit more damage
yeah.
um, or something. There's some payoff for getting Okidogi poisoned. So I'm interested to see, or I can't remember exactly, but yeah, basically prime catching that Fezandipity, cutting that off from Ryan because drawing 3 cards after a knockout is always great. Um,
And Okidogi EX has a fighting weakness.
okay,
So the
so
Greninja EX would be able to knock this thing out pretty easily.
yes, okay.
So now, seeing Ryan's play here,
So
the
gets the
Dusknoir comes out.
okay. So he can. So whenever Ryan elects to, he can just say goodbye Squawkabilly and take his 2 prizes and only give one. From what I'm thinking though, I would like to see Palkia V-Star attack onto the Roaring Moon just to make it sure that just to make sure that uh Jeremy has to work a little harder to get the full 290 damage, I believe, with the Mochi and everything.
Oh, and the Greninja EX is coming out here.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Would like to see. Would love to see something with the Greninja go into play. It's Greninja EX. It's a shame that Ryan couldn't get the rare candy his turn prior, so he couldn't have Mirage Barrage for
Yeah,
something crazy.
definitely. And it makes me wonder how Ryan's going to do this play here, just because that Roaring Moon needs one more energy in order to um, Frenzied Gouging that Greninja EX. And that would pretty much give him the game if Ryan's able to just do that with the Dusknoir play.
hmm
But another line that Ryan can do here is to not use the Dusknoir at all and just go into Greninja EX and just knock it out.
Yeah, right. This is one of those things where it just gets a
Yeah.
little crazy
It
because
gets a little crazy though because if that play happens, then Ryan can't use Dustnor anymore because he'd be down to one prize. So this is looking a
yeah,
little complicated for Ryan now. There's like some weird lines here that Jeremy has done that makes the game a little bit more awkward for Ryan.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. This is like um, Ryan or Palkia V Star. Palkia decks don't really run any other single prize attacker other than Radiant Greninja.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is probably the last moment he can use the Dusknoir and then be okay with it. Okay, we see
Yeah.
the Iono
So
come
the
down.
Iono is good too. That gets you down to three, and there's no real onboard draw for Jeremy to take
Yeah.
advantage of. I mean,
This
besides the Pheasantipity,
so if
but that's not in effect right now.
yes, so I think if he can find a gust on it, maybe he can find a gust or counter catcher or something onto that Pheasantipity and knock that out, cut that out from Jeremy's board here. Or we're just gonna see a swing into the active here.
Yeah, I think the swing here will just happen here,
Okay, so he just swings.
and then Ryan's going to go down to three.
Okay, so I guess saving the Dusknoir pop, maybe just thinking like, hey, you're not gonna knock out this Palkia V Star after
Oh, but
you.
there's E-switch, so
Oh, okay,
ooh,
all right. But hey,
yeah, and attachment for turn. Oh man, Jeremy's got everything here.
yeah, he's kind of basically can get anything he would want. Gets the Okie Dogie again, and the Janines too. The one thing about interesting about this deck is that with the Janines, yes, you can power up your dark attackers, but it's one thing to just that's all it does.
Yeah, there's no draw. It's not like Sada where you're able to get, different energy types attached to ancients and the draw. The draw is really big here. And
Yeah,
I mean for that to use your supporter too, it just doesn't feel that great.
yeah. So he's gonna have to. So probably gonna be see a frenzied gouging or something. Gets the E switch.
The
He even has
E-switch,
a
yeah.
monkey dory.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't. I guess that is true. You can.
Yeah, you just use I mean if you only play dark energy, you just, put the dark energy on there and you can start manipulating the HP numbers here as well.
Yeah, it would. It would help. I guess. You can. So I guess you can have a little bit more reach, assuming that your opponent couldn't knock out a certain Pokemon the turn prior.
The
Always
E-switch is coming in.
double was it double E switch? Or no,
Yeah.
oh no, he is ultra
Oh,
balling and throwing those away. Okay, so electing to get the Darkrai V Star, or not Darkrai V, Darkrai V trying to set that up and ensure that he has an out into getting a Darkrai V Star and grabbing that Prime Catcher or anything else and plus anything else he would want. So here we go. Probably gonna see the frenzied gouging, knocking out the Palkia V Star uh, while also getting putting himself down to or dealing 200 damage to himself. Leaving the during checkup, leaving the Roaring Moon with only I think 20 HP left.
oh, interesting. So I don't know if Ryan can win here, to tell
uh,
you the truth.
I think Ryan has to go Iono into and brick Jeremy on the next turn,
Yeah.
and then he can do something later.
Yeah, because like there's only one HP left, and I mean a Mirage Barrage would have been perfect here, but I don't think that's really enough here.
Okay.
Oh, but
The
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 bear,
bear coming down.
the bear,
Let's see. Does he have? I see Cyleem. I don't see an Iono.
yeah, counter catcher. Okay,
Okay, so I think he has to go. I say he can Iono counter catcher.
yeah, but my thing is like,
How does he
yeah,
win? Because even if he goes down to one, and then even Petron can get into the action with the irritated outburst attack. I believe it does 60 for
it's like every
each.
prize taken or something like that.
Yeah, so with Ryan down to one, he can do 300 with that too.
Yeah,
So we see the Iono down to one, and then the knocking out the Fez. I guess in this case, if Jeremy has to attack with Frenzied Gouging again, it would knock out both players' Pokemon, and then it would probably have to go to I believe a sudden death ruling. if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. And sudden death was super weird just because whoever takes the first prize, and I remember this happened to me when I was at Charlotte Regionals playing Charizard, and it's slower deck, so anytime I went into sudden death, which happened a whole one time, I ended up just losing the game because Roaring Moon EX would just get powered up and I would lose all my games that way. I ended up going to
Okay.
sudden death twice in that series, but
Oh,
yeah.
we see a we see off the Iona to one. Jeremy gets a professor's
Of
research.
course he
Of course he does. So
yeah,
the
and
good
is
thing,
that the squawk I think in the active and then
yes.
yeah, okay.
Cause you can just
E
Ultra Ball
switch.
for V Star and then just get it there, you know.
Yeah.
So probably
Darkrai V-Star?
is it in the
Is
deck?
Darkrai V-Star? Oh, I don't see Darkrai
Darkrai V
V-Star.
Star is not in the deck.
Yeah, this is so interesting.
Grabbing
Oh, I've got Garmin Fish for boss,
boss.
and there's
Okay,
the
all
game.
right. There's the game. Jeremy taking it down with a very unconventional Dark Box deck. Just
Yeah,
really capitalizing on its aggressiveness and being
yeah,
able to just start swinging right out the gate, going second, which is definitely a merit in right now in this metagame because many decks really want to go first.
yeah, definitely. And as we get our last round set up here, we're just going to take a quick commercial break just so we can get that last round set up. So thanks everyone for joining in so far, and we'll be right back for the last round. All right, everybody, and we're back with our last round. And Trevor, you can let them know that they're ready to start. But we have an interesting matchup here, as it's kind of like the big worlds matchup, kind of from our last format, as we get to see Regidrago Visar going against Miraidon EX. And a lot of people were talking pretty heavy, like how Miraidon's super favored here, and it does all these cool things, but um, Reggie Drago is actually able to hold its own pretty well into Miraidon.
Yeah, definitely. Banking on just grabbing, just like being able to survive, being able to survive the like the initial first couple of turns from him right on here, and hoping they don't take a two-prize knockout.
Yeah, and Matt plays Secret Box. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he was talking. I remember hearing commenting about it. He said like he really is enjoying that instead of the prime catcher because this
Yeah,
lets you just play the game or sets you up more consistently. It searches basically anything you need. You know, you got yeah, your seal stone, your Arvin, your any item, and even a stadium. And I know people are playing the new Area Zero and utilizing the Mewtwo EX Electric Terra just to access the stadium to make sure that your Raikous are swinging a way above their weight class. Honestly,
yeah, definitely. And so the Secret Box, for those who don't know what it does, is you discard 3 cards in order to use it, and you're able to search on an item card, a tool, a supporter, and a stadium. So Matt was able to get the Nest Ball, the Arvin, the Forest Sealstone, and the Area Zero. And that's good because, I mean, it guarantees you turn 1 Area Zero, and being able to get the supporter Arvin along with the Forest Sealstone pretty much means that you'll be able to get 2 generators pretty much from the deck, and along with your attachment from turn, it gives you a good, chance of getting stuff like Iron Hands on turn 1, or your first attack Raikou. So there's a lot of things that are able to happen just because of this card here.
yeah, and we're seeing basically Matt go through the works here. Unfortunately for Shashank on the other side, who plays the Academy at
Academy at Night.
he's thinking about it.
Yeah,
All
Academy at
right, letting it
Night.
go. But yeah, basically, that's a cool card. That's a stadium that allows you to take a card from your hand and put it on top of your deck. So just basically, if you have an energy in hand or just too many energy in hand, and you have a when you have an electric generator, you can guarantee at least one energy using
Yeah,
that stadium.
definitely. And we're seeing the Arvin come down, and there's some interesting cards here from Matt's side. I mean, I saw Pokemon catchers there, I saw stuff like that. So a lot of catchers there. I mean, I guess it's to replace the Prime Catcher that's not in the deck anymore. But
Yeah.
a lot of interesting text to help out with certain matchups.
Yeah, definitely. It's the Miraidon has definitely been one of those decks where people just kind of like sleep on sometimes, and then just like explodes and does really well, or just like are able. There are some like really good players like that of like Jesse Parker who are so comfortable with this deck, even though like it may not be like the best like shape into the meta, but someone like Jesse Parker can just be so are so proficient with it that they can just probably like just intuit like different lines and then doing other things as well.
Yeah, interesting here. So we see the energy go down into the Miraidon and the attachment for turn go into the Miraidon. Do you agree with this play?
I think he's looking to try to gust up that ogre pawn to try to take a 2/2/2 line.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately for Shawshank, I was gonna say this, but he whiffed on a Reggie Drago and he can only go switch into this
Oh yeah,
Kyurem.
into Kiram, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely Shawshank is playing on the back foot here just because he can't get a Reggie Drago down.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if it was the correct play to put down the Academy at night instead of playing something like um the Area Zero. And oh, as we see,
Okay, gets
the
that.
Ogre Pawn is going into play here, and the Forest Sealstone could potentially get us
He gets going
the
on the two
the turn
prize.
one knockout here, which would be
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, which be it would be pretty crazy. Let's just see if he only needs to hit one, so it's definitely very likely because with most Miraidon decks you're playing like 14, 15 lightning energy. Oh, so he just gets the Academy at night, so he just guarantees it.
Definitely. And to address the chat here, Nuz Crew Bald Guy. In Louisville right now. Good luck with the tournament. And yeah, Thorns is, I think, like a super underrated deck right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people have been kind of talking about Thorns, and It's definitely like super underrated right now. I mean, Lugia's on the up and up, and still has some good matchup spreads, and it generally converts pretty well into day two. So that one's pretty good. And then Drago with Noivern's also a really cool one as well, just because, you know, a lot of people aren't really playing the Gudra anymore. So I mean, if you slot out the Gudra instead and play the Noivern, that could definitely be some cool stuff to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going back to our game here, I mean, Matt was able to take the first knockout here, which is huge for this deck. And there's still no Regidrago V down on Shashank's side.
Yeah, definitely would have loved to see the research first and then into the flip the script here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now he has, unfortunately, has to research if he wants to play the game, all these important resources away. I think he has like two other researches or
Yeah.
whatever in his hand. So basically, after this research, he's not getting any more card draw from his supporters anymore, unless he plays Iono. But you know, it's definitely not as the digging power of research.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't even think if like this Ogerpon went into the active would do enough damage to knock out this Miraidon just because the Miraidon does have the Bravery Charm on there.
Yeah, I think it would need Ogerpon would need like I think like four. I think
Yeah.
four energy. Because I think it is 30 plus 30 for each energy on attached to both actives, and it needs three. So to attack, so that's 120, and then three on the Miraidon would be another 120. So that's
Yeah.
it's just with with the help of the charm, Miraidon is just barely hanging on, which is great.
Yeah. Do you think you should have put down the other Ogerpon in hand onto the bench?
I would have definitely liked to see just a little more card draws because you really need to start turboing through your deck because you're playing on the back foot here.
Yeah.
You can get away with just one, but that's assuming that you're nice and set up already.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to see a second Drago V come down here as well. He did pass that on the deck search, so wondering what he's looking to do here.
I think he's in the middle of a nest
Yeah, the nest ball. So
ball.
I'm hoping that nest ball grabs second Drago V, which he does, which is good.
This is good. Yes.
Yeah, and it looks like he's passing on to Matt here, and Matt grabs. I think that's a switch in hand.
Okay, so you can just start switching, switch into that squawkabilly with a rescue board, free retreat
Yeah,
into whatever he desires.
yeah, and I'm wondering if Matt plays bundle here. Bundle would be kind of crazy here with the switch.
Oh yes, most
Yeah.
definitely. Nothing on Shawshank's board or bench.
Ooh, thorns.
Thorns too.
Ooh,
Okay.
thorns. Thorns and Raikou. Interesting.
Definitely an option here. If he is able to power up that thorns and is able to swing with it and even like have a way to get it out the active afterwards. He's looking pretty set. Like obviously even more set up than, even more set up than, and just cut off Shawshank's plays here, especially going down to 4 prizes so early thanks to
Yeah.
Miraidon's aggressiveness. And taking advantage that Regidrago wants to go first, and it takes like one turn for it to get going, assuming that it's everything is good to go.
Yeah, and I do like the Radiant Greninja coming down here because, I mean, Matt needs more card draw, and he wants to be able to get some sort of gust. The gust is really important here, and hopefully he's able to draw into that. I mean, he's got extra energies in hand, so might as well discard them just so you can.
I think he's electing to go for the generator
Oh, the
first. Gets
generator
a
first. Yeah, thin out the deck a little bit, which is nice. Good.
yes. So okay,
Yep.
It's
Oh, this
only
is.
finding that one. Okay, electing to go for the thorns here.
Yeah. And I guess if he's not able to draw into it, you might as well just play the Arven for catcher, I guess, and you can try to get it that way.
Yeah. One thing I want, for at least, uh, one thing I'm thinking about for Matt here is that I know I don't wonder how many area zeros he played. I know he searched one out for from the secret box just to
Yeah.
only squawk and
I know,
seize it
just to
away.
squawk it away.
So
Yeah.
might as well just like keep it in your deck just to not throw away your resource like that. Ooh, Matt does have the future booster
Yeah,
energy
the
cap.
future booster capsule. Interesting play here. And he's grabbing that with a generator.
I believe that would be, is
Interesting.
that his third or fourth one?
I think that's the third generator.
Okay, so,
Yeah. So I'm wondering too here if he's just gonna elect to go for the single prize play
hmm
instead of like something like the gust. I don't know if he has another gust. That's the issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's see.
Trying to thin out some more in the deck.
We'd love to see always thin before you do something like this. And he
Oh, it
gets
hits two.
rewarded, hits the 2.
And I'm not mad about this. If you're able to get the thorns powered up and you're able to attack with it with the booster capsule, I feel like that's a fine play to make because I mean it's going to shut down the abilities for Shunk, so he won't be able to use the Teal Dance. He
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to use the Legacy Star. So
Yeah.
shutting down those abilities is huge, and being able to power up that thorns so easily is really big. And I mean, I think there's no squawk on the board, so that wouldn't be able to get knocked out. But very nice here from Matt that he's able to. Did he attach return already?
I I
No.
don't think he has. Okay, so
Okay.
just going to conceal cards, finding a little bit
Yeah,
more.
he's got Gust.
You got a gust.
He's got Gust.
But I
So,
think with him
oh,
retreating,
but yeah, this is that's the issue though. Is like the Gust would have been so nice.
yeah, so this is another oh, he has a Pokemon catcher, but this is another one of those lessons in sequencing is just Matt already committed to doing this play, but then since he decided to conceal cards and grab the gust, he probably could have reached for something bigger, like and maybe another knocking out that Fezandipity or
The Ogre Pond or even one of the Drago Vs. So there
yeah.
definitely could have been a world where he did that, but instead is going down to 3 prizes and is going to still need 2 knockouts to win the game.
Okay, so this is
Oh
a
yeah, and he could not concealed with the thorns active. That's also something important to know.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. We'll let him know about that one. It is a local, so yeah,
Um,
he should not be able to do that, but we will let him know about that one. Trev, could you just let him know about that one real
yeah,
quick?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back,
I
guys.
don't know how we can reverse the game state on here. We might just play on with it, but good on Arctic for being able to do that one. Oh, and Matt's still going through it, but I don't think they can reverse the game state here. Yeah. All right. I think we were able to kind of reverse it a little bit. It's just like a sequencing thing, so he does know now. And Shashank is going in now, research away, and he's going to need to find a way to gust this Iron Thorns out of the active. And he played research already, so no gust like that, like with boss, will
Oh
be able to really
my
happen.
goodness.
And I'm wondering what Shashank can do here now. Trev, what do you think Shashank can do here?
I don't know, especially with that thorns active. There's not. I don't think there's much for Shashank to do,
Yeah,
especially with the thorns in the active. You're cut off from all your card draw from the Fez and the Ogre Pond. The best thing you can really do is just start setting up for next turn and hope for the best later.
yeah,
Like, which is definitely what like unfortunate for Shashank on here, but he still can get going.
yeah.
Electing to get this Disarve, which is nice for a single prize attacker. If only it didn't. If only it was a future Pokemon.
Yeah, and if only the Iron Thorns wasn't in the active, which is definitely hurting Shashank's chances here.
Yes. Like one thing I know I remember watching from the I think best of 7 money match between Jesse Parker and I think Isaiah Bradner with the
Oh no, Ian Robb.
Was it Ian
Yeah,
Robb?
yeah, because that was supposed to be the top 4 matchup.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. My apologies.
yeah,
But yeah, just one thing that like Reggie Drago could do is just cure him twice.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely, definitely.
Oh yeah, this is the last round of stream. Thank you, Arctic, for all the assistance here because
You're the MVP, buddy.
yeah, because we are. It's kind of like a 2-man show here today. I'm like commentating and doing like the stream at the same time.
So we
So yeah,
appreciate it. Yeah,
we definitely have to like update things as it goes here.
we appreciate it though.
Yeah,
Thank you for keeping us
you're
going.
keeping us in check
The
here.
Phantom Third Man.
Yes,
But yeah, from Shawshank's. No, oh, we cannot Legacy Star.
we get Legacy Star. Oh no, Trevor, go get him.
Sorry, you can't Legacy Star. Thorns.
Oh, canceling Cologne. Okay. Okay, Cologne is in play.
All right. Sorry about that, everyone. I totally guess just missed on the canceling clone, but
Yeah, it
yeah.
was a little out of play here.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, so yeah, big apologies. Missed it. But let's see if we can get any attack off on Shawshank's side with
Oh, and
the
he plays the Noctowl line here that was seen in Isaiah Bradner's list that he played over in Dortmund. So it's a really cool idea to use because sometimes Regidrago falls a little bit short of a bunch of items. So being able to search out stuff like the Earthen Vessel, the Ultra Balls, and stuff like that will help you to get all the pieces you need into the discard a lot faster, which I really like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a nice innovation to the deck. Again, I think like you said, they're just being able to guarantee pieces instead of just like cycling and drawing and hoping that you get it makes the deck feel a lot better. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. And Shashank's going to be able to get the big attack here, which is really nice. And it's really all Regidrago needs in order to really get going. So
benches the m-
I don't know
or
how I feel about the
thinking
Mew
about
here.
benching
So
the Mew.
The E switch is good.
Okay, so he is getting an attack off. It's just a matter of where
Yeah.
or which one he wants to. I know he has Drago and obviously the Kyurem from getting knocked out earlier.
Yeah. And I think,
I think he is electing to go for
yeah, with
the
the Dragapult, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
Oh, is this? Oh, this is the Kyurem play, I think.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
going for the Kyurem twice. Very risky because he needs to get a lot of stuff
Yeah,
to
it's
do
going
it
to need a
again.
lot of stuff to do it again.
Um,
All right. All the energy are off there. And this Thorns is still active, which is going to be kind of hard to work around.
yes. One thing about that old the one Maridon from Scarlet Violet base set is it didn't have the future doesn't have the future tag on it, so
Yeah.
can't use tandem
Yeah,
unit,
won't
but
be able to use tandem unit. No concealed cards or anything like that. So,
yeah,
I wonder how Matt is going to be going about this next turn here. Maybe
yeah,
he's able to um, gust around, maybe take out the Pheasantipity, or gust around and maybe take out the other Drago V down there. Either way, there's going to be nothing that can really attack here, especially if this Thorns decides to stay active.
yeah. Um, one thing I would love to see I would have loved to see on the Shawshank from Shawshank's side when he did the Kieran play is to gust that Mewtwo EX up because it has two retreat. So he has to make just forcing Matt to it would force Matt to work a little harder about getting it out the active to get the swing off.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Matt's going to elect to use some sort of gust this turn, whether it is the boss or the Pokemon catcher.
Y-
Yeah, definitely like seeing the catcher first just because,
Yeah, you
it's
save
item.
the boss in
Yeah, it's an
hand.
item. If you don't have to use your um, gust, like your supporter gust,
So it
that
looks like
probably works.
it looks like he it was a tail. So not getting that.
Yeah, so retreating out into the Raikou. Um, ooh,
Which one does
I
he
guess
want?
he's not looking to do that yet. I think he's just making sure that the math will equal out to where he can get that knockout.
So right at a max, a typical max bench of 5 Pokemon on each side would mean a lightning round for 200,
220, yeah.
220. Shashak only has 4, so that would still be to 200. So Matt needs to would have to find 4 Pokemon to knock out the opposing Regidrago V-Star. Um, and that but that's probably even with Area Zero because he can only get 8.
Yeah, definitely.
So that I don't think not enough reach there. Alexa, okay, goes for the Fleetfoot. Try to find a little bit more. See what else you can get.
What did he
Um,
draw off that? Arvin?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay, so I mean the Arvin can definitely get you some more
yeah,
pieces to work with.
yeah. Honestly, I don't even mind swinging or just punching this Regidrago V-Star with your Raikou, just because Shawshank blew through many resources just to only cure him once. I think with if Shawshank or any Regidrago V-Star player is electing to go for this line, you need to have you would have needed to have like all your E switches and your fire energy again.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm not too mad about that play. But I think Matt is electing to use the boss here, and that could also be beneficial too, because if you put something in like the Radzard, it's going to need 2 energy to attack, and it's also really hard to get the thing out of the active. And I mean, you can always just knock it out and put yourself back onto even prizing, and then you can find a way to get your last 220 on maybe one of those more fragile two prize Pokemon there.
Okay, electing to go for just the this Regidrago V.
Oh, the V here for 200 damage, and let's see what Shishanga ends up doing. He draws the Squawkabilly off the top here.
All right, we don't like that. Or
Yeah,
not useful there.
yeah, and I definitely want to see how he's going to be able to knock this out. So, okay, so, ooh, E-switch here.
E-switch, we do
So,
enjoy that.
there could be some potential here to do that second Kyurem play here.
I don't know how many E-switch that Shawshank has used already.
Yeah.
At least one.
And Arctic, I definitely agree with you. I definitely like the idea of using Dragapult instead, just because it's hard for Matt to hit tall for 280 as a Miraidon player. And I mean, if you spread 6 onto like stuff like the Squawkabilly or anything like that, you can kind of set up for the extra prize turn with the Kyurem that way. Or you
Yes.
can use it to just take multiple smaller knockouts at the same time. So maybe like, spread onto the Thorns to take an easy 2 prizer,
Yeah.
spread onto the Miraidon. So I definitely like that idea.
All right, so we see the Iono coming out.
Ooh, another E-switch.
Another E-switch.
Did the first E-switch get played?
Uh,
No?
based on the board state, I don't think he
Oh
did.
man. I would have loved to see that first E-switch get played just because
If
yeah.
you're gonna send it to the bottom anyways, might as well.
Yeah.
Goes for the jamming tower. This
Yeah.
does shut off Iron Thorns' future booster energy capsule. So if he sticks it in the active, it would could be stuck there. Oh,
Oh, and the
elect
Mewtwo's getting stalled into the active. It was kind of like what you were talking about earlier, Trev, with the 2 retreat costs. So being able to put that on there is huge.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention it, but I was thinking about when Matt attacked with the Iron Thorns with the initialize, he could have moved 1 energy to the to the Mewtwo EX just to make sure that if he has an attached return, he can get that thing out the active.
Yeah, definitely.
But something to keep track. Did he just pass with the
Yeah, with the
Mew?
Mew in the active. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, we would have loved to see that other E-switch get played, and then there could have been a lot more potential for that Kyurem play to happen.
yeah, if he had a if let's say he used that E switch and then he drew into a fire, then that would be game because he would just cure him again.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, with this play, he's able to
Oh,
stall.
he plays double turbo?
Okay, never
Oh,
mind. Okay, so probably gonna okay, so take a knockout on this Mew here. Yeah, definitely. So the one thing about for Shawshank that's on the up is that he can't lose this turn.
yeah, he can't lose his turn. There's no Iron Hands here.
Yeah, and then assuming Shawshank can hopefully find
Ooh,
going for the
okay.
Ogre Pawn with the energy on it. I think this
Okay.
is really smart coming out of Matt, just because Shawshank has an energy banked on it, and is just hoping that he doesn't have everything that he needs to get another play going, and then so it just basically forces Shawshank to have another Ogerpon, have another grass energy, and the East Switch. So just making Shawshank's life a little bit harder by knocking
Yeah,
out that
and
one.
that could have definitely been solved if he put that other Ogrepon on the bench before researching it away, like way back in the first portion of the game.
Yeah, like that Radzard that he can't use anymore. Uh, it's just like what is it doing now
Yeah,
then?
and I agree with what Sporkmaster here is saying. If the E switch was used the turn before too, he would have had the play here.
Oh, he
Oh,
drones
so he
into
just
it, so he could have done it.
yeah. So
All right, let's see if
oh, there's no Ogrepon. They're all in the discard pile. So there's no way to E switch right now into it. Oh, this is
uh
so tough to see.
yeah, we hate to see it because just
Yeah,
if
because oh, Shawshank had like all the pieces that he needed.
yeah, he would have won the game right here
Yeah.
if he didn't if
Oh, this
he
is so tough.
all right. But let's see. Benches the Hoot Hoot. He already attached for turn. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so all right.
I
Okay.
gotta update this here. 1 prize left, and
You just
Yep.
oh yeah, okay. So we just went
Okay.
the night
Yeah.
stretcher.
Just
Uh,
Night
all
Stretcher.
right, Matt with the Maridon wrapping it up against Shawshank with the Regidrago V Star.
And we saw that this matchup isn't as one-sided as people really thought it was. A lot of people originally thought that Miraidon kind of just ran over Reggie Drago V-Star, but that's not always the case. So we definitely got to see like a little more teched out Miraidon list in this new format and see how Reggie Drago was still able to kind of hang. And I mean, it was pretty much there the whole time.
Yeah, barring unfortunately Shawshank whiffing a Regidrago V on turn one and just
Yeah,
only going like Teal Dance and switch into Kyurem Pass.
yeah,
Definitely just like Shawshank just couldn't get his engine rolling fast enough go to combat with how fast Miraidon can be. Um, Another one thing too is just I would love to instead of the first Kyurem, just going for that Phantom Dive attack first, conserving your energy and resources. Just because there's probably no way that Matt is able to take a knockout on your Reggie Drago V Star the turn next. So, but it's okay. We're all learning. It's
yeah,
everyone. These players are grinding, trying to like be as best as they could, you know. And Nerd Rage isn't an easy locals, I would say.
yeah, definitely. So that about wraps it up for today. We had 4 rounds of really intense games here. We got to see a lot of different decks here, a lot of big picks that are going to be going into the Louisville Regional. So if you're going to be at Louisville, good luck. We hope to see all of you guys do well. We want to see the local scene do well, and hope that you were able to get some good practice and good prep from us here. So I know Trev's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be at Collecticon this weekend instead. But, if you're going to the event, good luck to you. We wish you guys all the best. Safe travels back home. And thanks for tuning in, guys.